Hello random ladies and gents, and welcome to another week of Jurassic June 2019. So, for the past few weeks, I was visiting Arizona. I saw the sights, the mountains, the Grand Canyon, the vast, never-ending desert wastelands filled with casinos. You know, Arizona. Or is that Vegas? Anyway, being the nerd that I am, I visited the Arizona Museum of Natural History. And while exploring the vast, elaborate halls of the museum, it was there I discovered the next terrifying candidate for this discussion. So today, we're traveling back to Arizona 193 million years ago to the early Jurassic period to meet a very special and very iconic dinosaur. Made famous by Jurassic Park, the double-crested lizard, Dilophosaurus. The Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park was made into a superstar, being depicted as a small carnivore no larger than a dog, with a wide frill and a distinct ability to spit venom. However, this depiction couldn't be further from the truth. The real Dilophosaurus would have towered over this pretender. Standing at an estimated 1.36 to 1.5 meters tall, or 4.5 to 5 feet, and a length of 6.03 meters to 7 meters long, which is 19.8 to 23 feet, and on top of that, it had an estimated weight comparable to a brown bear. So, while it lacked a colorful, jagged frill or an ability to spit venom, it by no means made it any less scary. Its size is proof of that. Discovered in the year 1940 in the Kayenta Formation of northern Arizona, this medium-sized theropod roamed what was once a lush forest filled with a wide variety of animals, some of which were the earliest dinosaurs like Dilophosaurus itself and Scutellosaurus. Now, the first thing you notice about Dilophosaurus is its distinctive head, or more precisely, its prominent double crest that sit at the top of it. Scientists don't know for sure why Dilophosaurus evolved these elaborate crests, but the leading theory is that these crests were likely for display, based on comparisons with modern birds and other animals that developed similar ornamental structures for the same purposes. Such mechanisms are used to indicate status, distinguish individuals, impress potential mates, and discourage rivals in more confrontational interactions. Another interesting feature of its head is its gnarly set of jaws. As powerful as the jaws look, Dilophosaurus had a relatively weak bite, which has led to several different theories in regard to its feeding and predatory behavior. In fact, it was because of this weak bite that the idea of Dilophosaurus being venomous was conceived. Sadly, the hypothesis had no evidence and it was recognized as unfounded. Others have come up with more founded theories. Some say it used its jaws to hold prey in place while using its powerful arms and claws to slash and tear prey apart. Others have suggested it was a scavenger or even a kleptoparasite, which is a scavenger which steals kills from other carnivores. Perhaps its most interesting clue is the prominent notch near the end of the mouth. This rosette-like notch is similar to that of crocodiles, which have a similar notch near the end of their jaws, which allows them to better ensnare prey. In fact, based on this feature, it was suggested in 2007 that perhaps Dilophosaurus' menu was not limited to land-based prey, but fish as well. If this proves to be true, then the notch in Dilophosaurus' snout would have allowed it to better grip struggling and or splashing prey. Dilophosaurus isn't the only dinosaur to have this notch, however. Another group of dinosaurs also bear this rosette-like notch on their snouts, the Spinosaurs. These crocodile-like carnivores shared many traits with their distant crocodilian cousins, not only their notch on their snout, but having crocodile-like snouts as a whole, as well as sharing a semi-aquatic lifestyle, and are known piscivores as well as opportunists. With this examination of this apparently convergently evolved trait, it further lends to the possibility of Dilophosaurus having fish in its diet, or a focus on smaller, quicker prey. Dilophosaurus' physical features are not the only interesting things about this animal. Thanks to trace fossils, we may have a much clearer understanding of this creature's behavior. A trace fossil is a fossil that isn't of an animal itself, but rather trace remains left behind by the animals such as footprints, skin prints, burrows, coprolites, fossil poop. Dilophosaurus has left behind many trace fossils attributed to it, primarily fossilized imprints such as footprints, and even an imprint that indicates how it crouched. These trace fossils provide us clues with how the animal moved, providing for the details of the animal's locomotion and behavior, but potential skin imprints from the bottom of the foot. Even the crouching imprint that's attributed to Dilophosaurus revealed that it likely took a bird-like position when resting or crouching. These also provide clues into not only how it behaved, but also how its relatives could have behaved. And speaking of relatives, Dilophosaurus has a pretty interesting and confusing track of classification. When it was first discovered, it was thought to be a megalosaur, then it was thought to be a coelurosaur, then it was thought to be a ceratosaur. At the moment of this video's release, Dilophosaurus is currently classified in its own family, Dilophosauridae, alongside close relatives such as Spinosaurus and Dracovenator. However, despite their impressive features, the Dilophosaurs were relatively primitive dinosaurs compared to their contemporaries of the later Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, featuring primitive four fingers that were eventually going to evolve into sets of 3 or 2, with the exception of Abelisaurs, and large decorative crests that would all but disappear in later theropods. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's be like Dilophosaurus. Separate reality from fiction. Be yourself, and not a venom-spitting frill monster. With that touching message, we conclude this week's Paleo Log, and I hope you enjoyed this beautiful and deadly addition to Jurassic June.